You know, as a result of studying AZD, not only has my discipline improved, my character improved. This is me before studying AZD. Obviously, this is me now. Character, confidence, discipline, and the certainty to get women, communicate.
I am an attorney in California. I'm an attorney in Texas. And none of that happened before I met AZD and IMC Nation. He gave me the mindset, the understanding, the knowledge, the knowingness deep within that I can accomplish whatever the fuck I want.
Thanks to AZD, I have control of my mind and awareness of my character and development in a way that's not possible. I've studied with so many masters, so many teachers of the mind, awareness, intelligence, intellect, skill sets of many different fields. Nobody compares with what AZD does. It's not even on the same order of magnitude.
With AZD, I took my level of certainty and confidence to another level that I didn't know I could tap into. These teachings really allowed me to unleash myself into a whole new version of myself that could produce more, make more money than ever before.
In the chaos of today's world, IMC Nation stands as a beacon of transformation. Founded by Arise Aparti Bazaar, known globally as AZD. Through his YouTube videos, AZD shared profound philosophies and the wisdom of his mentors, sparking a movement of unparalleled self-evolution and mental mastery. IMC Nation is not just an idea, but a powerful brotherhood of men who live with honor, purpose, and unyielding strength. The epitome of the true alpha male. Men who are not only dreamers, but doers, turning visions into reality through the most powerful techniques of self-mastery. This movement has grown organically, spreading like wildfire across the globe, attracting men driven by a desire for excellence and greatness. Here, men are transformed into modern-day warriors, mastering their minds and lives. They learn to turn fear into courage, doubt into conviction, and weakness into strength. This is the art of the true alpha male, a blend of power, wisdom, and elegance. IMC Nation is more than a community. It's a revolution. It calls to those who seek more than the ordinary, promising not just change, but profound metamorphosis. Under AZD's guidance, men unlock their true potential, becoming unstoppable forces of nature. Join us. Be part of this epic journey. Witness the rise of powerful, inspiring, and dominant men. Let IMC Nation be the catalyst for your transformation and the brotherhood where your true potential is realized. This is the path of the true alpha male. This is the art of becoming unstoppable.
All right, everybody, welcome. I'm AZD, the guy on that video, just getting better looking in time. And so younger and better looking, I guess. This is IMC Nation, International Mastermind Council. This is a special podcast that we hold once a week. It's called Let's Talk About It. My co-host is a person you're going to want to know. He has a book you can buy. More than that, if you want to get some real mentorship, he's somebody who takes companies from zero and turns them into 8-figure companies, okay? And so his name is Brett. He's right here. What's up, brother? He's in person today.
Good to be here, sir.
Good to be here.
Thank you.
Good to have you in person, okay?
Thank you, Mayor.
We're gonna start chatting because that's what we do. And then if you have any ideas or anything you want to bring up for the next hour, we're gonna talk about it, okay? We're gonna talk about anything and everything that you want to talk about. You know, that brings up something before you start.
Yes, sir.
I think it's one of the funniest things. I do podcasts. Sometimes I get on podcasts. Sometimes people used to interview me a while ago. And one of the funniest and weirdest questions that I hear when I watch other people, and then when they ask me, it's just goofy, but it's like this. I hope you don't mind me asking, right? Or like, is it, you know, or a person being interviewed gets bent out of shape because the interviewers ask them something. I mean, let's just say someone asked me the weirdest fucking question that was just like out of order, right? It would be obvious to everybody that that person was out of order, right? If I have to apologize openly and say, I know this is kind of weird. Now listen, I can't start that sentence and people go, that wasn't weird. If any interviewer at any point, I'm telling you how to defend yourself in communication, because I don't even feel threatened when, like, man, these guys have been in podcasts with me. They say, is there anything you want to go over? No, whatever. Is there anything you want me to ask? Like, what do you mean, is there anything you don't want me to ask? I thought I was here so you could find out shit about me, right? I didn't know that this was supposed to be some fake shit. I'm supposed to show up and you're supposed to ask me something I want you to ask. Like, whoa. What good is that? Okay? And so if by chance you ever end up in that situation anywhere in life where someone asks you publicly something that's just like, ooh, you know, embarrassing, or you don't want to answer, it's really simple. There's a million ways you could move that around, okay? The simplest way, you just say, that's not a question that I would like to answer right now at this time. Okay? And if they press and they go, well, yeah, but you know, people want to know. You say, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of being me. People want to know that. And so this is not going to be the only interview I have. There's going to come a time where I'm going to speak about that. It's just not the right moment right now. Then you could say a million things from there. You could say, just due to certain things in my family, in my job, lawyer. You know, if someone's trying to attack you, say whatever the fuck you want to say. In my religious belief right now, I've been fasting for 24 hours. I've taken a vow of not speaking about that for the next 2 days. Ask me in the third day. Here's my number. Call me, interviewer. We'll do this again. You don't got to answer nothing. People feel like when I've seen people get up from interviews like that. I hope I end up somewhere and they're interviewing me and they're challenging me so I could show whoever and wherever they were trying to discredit me. If there's actual credit, all I gotta do is show it. No problem, right? One time I got stopped here and, you know, they were gonna card me and this and that. And before I gave it to the guy, I said, you're gonna be embarrassed when this is done. Because you're going to find out that I have no record. I've never been to jail. I don't have a criminal record. Never done nothing like that. So I'm going to give you this, and you're going to come back and you're going to say sorry to me. I have no problem giving you this fucking ID. Right? Oh, yeah. He thought I was lying. He goes over there. He checks. I see him talk to somebody. I see him say, check it again. Yeah, they were there. He comes back. Well, you know, nothing came up, and we ran it through 2 systems or whatever. No shit. There was nothing there for you to fucking see. Right? What are you talking about? And so whenever I see that, it's one of 2 things, I think. And it could be a million things, but that's what I think. I think, one, the person is hiding some weird shit, and that's what they want. They want you to lose your shit. They want you to be like, so they can show something. See? So that's not going to happen here. 2, maybe the person who's being pressed actually was never mentored on how to speak. Right? And I've seen that happen with so many fighters, right? I'm a martial artist, growing up in the martial arts, and how many fighting interviews have I seen where the fighter's been like, not laughing it off at the fucking interviewer. One time Floyd Mayweather was interviewed, and they were like, Floyd, is it true, right, that you could, or somebody was attacking him, I think it was another fighter, like, you can't, it was Conor McGregor, you can't even read, man. And this starts happening. People say, look, bro, if I'm Floyd Mayweather, I don't need to read. I'm a boxer. What do you think? I'm a fucking school teacher, right? I could definitely read that says Kellogg's fucking cereal, right? I know that's ham and I know that's turkey. I could read that much. T starts turkey, H starts ham. I'll bet you he knows T and H for sure. He knows his own T. TMT, his company, right? And he feels like he needs to, or maybe he doesn't, but that's how it comes across. Like, that's not an attack on a boxer to say you can't read. An attack on a boxer is you can't box, but he's 51-0. So am I here to be interviewed for my fucking reading arithmetics? Is that why I'm on CNN right now fucking being talked to so you could find out whether I can read? Or am I here because I've had 51-0 record? Right, cool, you know, I can't read. Hey, I'd go further. I can't read. I can't change a car tire. I don't even know how to fucking cook or clean. Oh, really? I mean, what's it like? It's fucking great. It's allowed me to be the #1 boxer on the planet. Now, is this a cooking show? Is this a cleaning show? Like, what are you? And he would just murder them. But instead, it becomes listen, if there's anything I'm going to start off with, one thing I've learned in this life is how many times I've fought the wrong battle. It wasn't even a fight for me. Like, that's not even what the fuck. Okay? All right. Well, there is me trying to tell him what's up with you. Go ahead. Now, what's going on?
We've got a lot to talk about today, obviously. AZD. A lot of really relevant stuff is happening right now. So I've got a nice magazine loaded, ready to go to fire your way.
I'm ready to go.
But I know you are. But I'll give you the frame that this is all going to be well within the realm of your mastery, which is very, very huge. So the first is we've got a new president-elect.
Congratulations,
Yes, sir.
President Donald Trump. Everybody, congratulations
Yeah.
to America.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the entire world, planet Earth, and even the people that don't like him and have whatever problems you may be having, right? Congratulations to you, because either you are actually an evil human being,
Right.
which I doubt you are, or you're misinformed, miseducated, and brainwashed, okay? You probably fall in number 2 category, right? And still congratulations to you, because that means you're still a good person that would have been destroyed under the wrong people. So it's just a matter of time before you open your fucking eyes and see the difference, right? So congratulations to the entire world. This is a big win, and salute.
We've seen,
Right on.
yeah, there's instantaneous results that have happened within 24 hours. Major world leaders stopping wars immediately.
Yeah, the Hamas war is going to stop.
Yeah, Hamas war to stop. Putin already ready to negotiate.
That's crazy, right?
It's so fast.
Everyone's like, oh, shit, get it together, get it together.
And far more important than all of this is I did see, I don't know if you've heard this one yet,
No.
but Andrew Tate is now going to come back to America. Now, he's
And do
going to
what?
say it's Donald Trump, but I think it's because of some other reason.
No, I think he's going to come to, I think he'll be on Trump team for a while.
Yeah.
Whatever Andrew Tate does, all he does is pave the way for AZD to go take over. Or there's no reason to take over, and he just paves the way for him to sit right next to him or teach him, right? There's nothing, look, man, if boxing was a sport that was just in the backyard because 2 people fought, right? And eventually it became one of the biggest things in the world, and it paid so much and it changed the entire world, then I'm going to thank the people that put it there as I go take the belt, right? Everybody knows who Andrew Tate is. If you don't, you should look him up. Right? And that's the guy who supposedly is doing what I'm doing, right? And that's kind of like saying, I'm a boxer, a Rosh Dibazar, and I know how to fight, and I do. And I get a chance to go against Mike Tyson. Not even close. I will be Mike Tyson. He will be whoever the fuck he is. Not even Jake Paul. He's not even that good.
And, you know,
What's that?
I have a feeling he moves to Las Vegas.
Oh, well, if he comes here, then we're going to have to shake hands.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that Mike Tyson fight, I haven't, you know, the elections kind of trumped everything else going on in the world.
The election did trump everything.
They did, but I
Nice
heard the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight is happening next Friday, apparently on Netflix.
Who do you got?
I mean, I'm rooting for Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
like hard.
Are you waiting for him, or?
I want him to just absolutely obliterate the guy. You know, he's a personal icon,
Yeah, me
mentor.
too. Yeah, for me too.
You know, watching him walk out to some of those old school fights, like you can't help but feel powerful.
Yeah, one of my
him.
tattoo, my first face tattoo comes inspired by him, which was really dope.
Really?
Yeah, first one.
That's amazing.
He was the first guy I saw with a face tattoo. He had this little design.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted it, but the courage it fucking took when I got it, man. It was a lot. I got these 3 lines, and it was in the same spot he has it. He had nothing on the left side, I got it on the right side.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that Kamala Harris was not addressing the public the night of her speech because she was too drunk in her room. That's what.
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
When I hear that, I'm just like, who? Who is that phony that was sitting around? You know what I mean? What the? Everybody knew. And the moment that bitch spoke, she was lying. Right?
Yeah.
God, can
And
you imagine
did you
being
see
around that
Joe
one?
Biden's wife went to vote in a dress in red?
No, did she vote for Trump?
Well, that's what they kind of think. Because he's looking so happy because, I mean, he got ousted. Not that he would have been any better, but as a man's ego would get checked by that.
Yeah.
I mean, no one wants to do, he wanted to run. He wanted to fight. I mean, every guy does, even if you're absolutely useless. Still, he would have that fight in him, right?
I don't know. I don't know what that guy is.
Who knows?
I don't know if these people are human up there anymore.
Yeah,
guys.
you might be right about that.
No, I'm not kidding. You know who
Yeah.
said that? Do you know who said that? Look it up. Putin.
Really? He's on
Look up the quote. Whoever can look up the quote. What did Putin say about the elite of planet Earth and who they are? He said it publicly. Shit's going down in the next 4 years. If Putin says what this quote is, let's see what he says, okay? You won't believe this. This is, what is he? What's called Russia now?
He's
Or-
the
Russia?
the
The
Tsar
country?
of Russia.
Russia, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We
If
don't
they
know.
still call it Russia, I don't
that's
even
what
know
I'm saying.
anymore.
It's the name of the
I
country
know it
now.
is Russia,
Is it
like
Soviet
you.
Union, or is it?
It's. I think it's Russia.
Whatever, Putin, the next fucking macho man, right?
I should definitely know what it is, but we come from
Yeah.
the same time period where it was Russia and Soviet Union.
Yeah, that
now
guy.
it's Putin. You know, have you ventured down any of the rabbit holes of like the Tartarian Empire?
Of course, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's a lot of these things.
Okay, because there's something going on where Putin was going to release all of the Russian documents
Wow.
around the Tartarian.
Wow, I think it'll happen.
Okay.
It's called full disclosure coming up.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for it for some years, everybody.
There's so much has been disclosed now. Do you think we're just desensitized to all disclosures?
Nah, I don't know. But I heard, let me tell you what I heard yesterday. I heard, see if it's true, that they announced that they found another ocean bigger than all the oceans. See if that's true. And they said that they found it in the middle of the earth. Now, you know what else? You know what that means? If that's valid, what they said, they are admitting at the same time that there's life there. Right? Any biologist would tell you if we have an ocean on Earth, it's not a lifeless area. Right? So if they're saying we found an ocean in the middle of the Earth and it's bigger than all the oceans combined, that's what they're saying, then all you gotta do is go next to all of our oceans and see if there's any life in and around them. And what if there was an ocean bigger than all those oceans in the middle of the Earth? We've known this stuff. What an amazing time to be alive, right? Now, these are big ideas. They're much bigger than paying your bills or the argument you had with the other person. Or even better yet, oh, I just don't have the time to do that today or whatever. Like, whoa, where are you coming from? Right? What's going on with you? What happened to you? Right? They have you thinking small, and all you are is just whatever you're aware of. Go read the Buddha, the Dhammapada, right? Everything you are, everything comes from what your attention is on. Or let's go more modern times. Hypnosis and energy work. Energy flows where attention goes. And you want to try that? Let's do an experiment. You can try this right now. Just stay relaxed wherever you are. I'm going to show you something. Okay? And I want you to put your attention in the middle of your right palm. Just think about the middle of your right palm, the center of it. See how long you keep your focus in the center of your palm. If you did that, right? How long did it take before you started to feel some kind of tingling or some energy in there? Anybody? Yes?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Yes? Yeah. And you see that? Now, if you didn't do it, I don't know what to tell you, but you could try again. You could now put your attention on the left palm, right? If you put your attention on your feet, on your nose, you'll see something is traveling with your attention, right? That's how you relax your body. They say, okay, focus on relaxing your face. All right, boom. Your neck, shoulders, back, throat. And as you're putting your attention on it, your energy is literally flowing through those things. Zoom, 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 zoom. Then they make you visualize, which is proper, which is now imagine, let's say, cool water just flowing down, relaxing everything, or lukewarm water. And now as your attention is going there, you're adding to it your imagination. And that is the language of inside. Inside, we're speaking outside right now. Inside is a language of imagery and words, and that's how you maneuver in this eternal space called inside, right? So when you look out and you look at the world, and you see how big it is, what's interesting is that no matter how big it is, the moment you can grasp it as a concept, it's now that bigness is an idea in you. And I think that's huge. It's huge. It's like saying, when you look out into the ocean, whatever you see, your eyes may be small, but they're as big as the ocean you're looking at. Think about it. And that does happen. One of the ways that you could get rid of the negativity in your system is to go next to the ocean, be in a place where you could see far into the ocean. It doesn't make any difference what you're feeling before that. The moment you walk up to the ocean and you look out, you create space, and your eyes, they go from looking inside your head or this to... Now, when a person's already feeling good, they're driving or they're walking there, we used to be next to the ocean. As they're doing that, their attention's out looking for the ocean. Sometimes I would finish training jiu-jitsu in Santa Cruz, California, and the ocean was very close, about five blocks from there. I get in the car. Some days I felt great. And I would drive there, just camp. As I'm going there, my energy is already pushing into the ocean, ready to go. Then I would go and I'd go sit on the cliff and breathe, and whoa, there was that. Some days I was so messed up physically. I mean, pain, and maybe had a bad match, maybe even got injured. Maybe I was too tired to even drive home. It was like a 35-minute drive from where I was, through mountains and bullshit. Now I would say, okay, I need to go sit by the beach. Why? Or the cliff. Why? Because I have to feel better before I drive. Now, the second time as I'm driving, my attention wasn't out. It was like, ow, my wrist or shoulders, or the fucking car, it's still red light. I'm still here. I would get there, get out, body hurting, sitting down, still I can't see the ocean. I see it, but my attention goes right back in. Sit, breathe, relax, boom, start looking, eyes open, but I can't see still. Oh, whatever. After a time, I'm just telling you actual memory I'm running through. After a time, let's say a little white dog would run by with somebody. And I would notice the dog. I go, oh, that's cute. Immediately, I'm a little bit more space in me. It would go, then the dog, oh, the bird. There's a little bit of grass and shit. It wasn't grass, it was like some foliage or whatever it's called. And then, ready? Whoa, big wave. And what's happening? Boom, boom. Then it would be at some point, not as good as if I was already feeling good, but at some point it would be like, okay, oh, it would be like a sigh of relief would come over me. I was like, all right, now I can relax. My body couldn't even relax because my mind was stuck in the pain, or stuck in the match, or stuck in the long drive, or stuck in I'm hungry, or something in the body was taking my attention and it was trapping my soul. Now I have some space. Look at the ocean. Then it would feel like this. Damn, I don't want to drive home. I just want to stay here the whole time. Why? Because I found some space. So one of the ways I found to release some of that pressure is to go and do that. Here in Las Vegas, if you have a rooftop like we do, you go up on the rooftop and you look out. And you try to look further and further into the mountains. This is something I learned by studying L. Ron Hubbard of Scientology, right? In that you put your attention out, it's called your anchor points, and you create space. And when you're feeling like you have a headache, or you feel like you're fucked up, or you're stressed, that your space is here. You even look like that. Eckhart Tolle does that really good if you watch him, right? He's like, whoa, oh, oh, right? And he demonstrates what it's like to be inside, right? And that guy's got space. You could see it. He sits there like,
2 minutes for like an hour.
yeah, you fall asleep before you listen to the lecture.
I call him the world's most boring enlightened man.
Isn't that great?
I don't know if that's the right thing to say,
Jesse Lee Peterson. Well, I'll tell you, JLP.
I love him.
JLP. Have you guys heard him talk about Eckhart Tolle?
No.
Hey, can you bring up a clip on Jesse Lee Peterson talking about Eckhart Tolle? Let's see if he's there.
Does he call him a sloth?
I call him a sloth.
Oh, okay.
I respect him as a sloth. Right? So even sloths get respect here. All right, what else is going on while JLP comes up?
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
No, Eckhart Tolle being the world's most boring enlightened man. that's what I always call him. I'm very curious to see what Jesse Lee has to say about him. Another very polarizing Jesse Lee Peterson thing that I've seen is his interview with Zerka. I don't know if you've seen that
Zerka?
one. Zerka is this streamer on Kick. Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of his stuff, but I don't know the name. So I'm sure I've seen a piece of it.
It's a great testament to Jesse Lee Peterson because Zerka has respect for Jesse Lee, but he really tests that Zen mode of Jesse's, and Jesse's does not crack at all. And like any other,
He would have cracked.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah,
full crack too. Not,
check out Jesse Lee Peterson.
yeah,
okay?
not a small crack, but like a full-on send you into a rage of principles
Lots of shit.
yeah,
Bro, you had Eckhart Tolle, right? Why'd you delete it? Just put ECKH. Yeah, you were right. Keep going. ECKHEART. I don't know if I did that right now.
The E, just the A-R-T.
Eckhart's not a normal.
It should show up.
There it is.
Just put that and see what happens. Okay, just if you said as if no.
Anyone else know any Eckharts in the world?
Eckhart Tolle help.
No.
Spiritual awakening highlight. And that's too much. Keep going down. Keep going down. All right. Anyways, you know what he says?
Tell me.
He thinks there's something really wrong with Eckhart Tolle.
Really?
That's what he said.
What does he give any examples of? Like,
Yeah, he says
what
words
it could
like
be?
that guy's not even alive. He's like, hey, if you have the answer, speak from your chest. You know what I mean? He says that guy has no life in him. If he has the truth, you're supposed to have life in you. And he's a great example of it, right? Now, I'm not saying anything about that because I've used Eckhart Tolle stuff to get better in life, right? But you can't deny the truth either, right? And he could be a sloth, and Jesse could be, you know, a lion or a tiger or a bear. And the lion and tiger would say that about a sloth. You know what I mean? If so, they both have whatever they have. But that's beautiful because a lot of times we think that spirituality is supposed to be this really, you're supposed to just be like, nothing affects you. Those are the same people that'll watch. Those are the same people that will watch a child get raped and trafficked and be like, well, I understand where the person was coming from when they were raping and doing that. Oh, I called it an accident. Give me a second. All right, moving on. Anything else, bro? I have to find out if this call was meant to be there. Can I say your name?
Well, I can just say I'm still so happy from the Trump election and the victory there. While I was watching it go down, I was on this really cool website that kept all the live feeds going. And what it gave was, because it's a little confusing, we have the Electoral College, we have popular vote, but there's...
Words we don't even know what they mean anymore, just so you know. I remember studying those in high school, and I can recall them and know what they are, but I bet you the new generation has no fucking clue.
Yeah, most
Right?
people
What
don't.
does that mean?
A lot of people don't even vote. A lot of my
Facts.
people at my work are 35, 36 years old. Like, this was the first time they were voting, and they just didn't vote. Anyway, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude?
Seriously, what are you
People
gonna...
would fucking-
Don't complain later.
Yeah, seriously, because people would die for that shit just to be able to cast a fucking vote. But I was watching this cool website, and what it did to break the confusion of electoral colleges and popular votes, it gave its own, I don't want to say prediction, but it was a mathematical computation of the likely winner based on
Probabilities.
The probabilities,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was based on all historical stuff.
Yeah.
So have you ever watched like a game, like any sport game where your team is just winning so hard?
Yeah.
Like it's a total domination.
Yeah, I remember the Chicago Bulls playing and being like 30 points ahead.
And it's fun to watch if you're a Chicago
If you're
Bulls
a fan, you're just like, dude, we got this.
That's
right?
how I felt, and I definitely drank too much that night too.
Speaking of drinking too much, I have a video to show you.
Oh shit! Is that on? This is off stream video.
I've showed it somewhere. I think in the. Did anybody see the video of me throwing up? All right.
Oh, that was epic, dude.
You saw it?
Yeah, that
I
was
have a
really.
video of me being so drunk,
Bro,
and just like throwing up and
that was really. I found that highly transforming.
Really?
Yeah, because I've been in that.
So did I. I was in it.
No, I've been in that same position.
Yeah.
You know
how
times.
difficult that shit is.
Fuck yeah! So you're like fucking dying. And but I like your memorial menti, amor fati.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah. But the best part about that video, bro, was your cat.
And my cat is the best part of every video.
Dude, the thing was so loyal, bro. He's just chilling. And then when
I don't think he's loyal. I think he's like, this motherfucker's gonna die and I'm gonna eat him now.
Oh my God.
I realize my cat is always hunting me and everybody else.
No
I'm telling you,
shit.
cats. It's kind of like a woman. She's always hunting, right? She's bargain hunting. She's the one that if it says you walk through Macy's and it's like, save $35, right? She'll come to you and she'll buy a bunch of shit and she'll be like, dude, you have no idea how much money I saved today.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, wow, that's great. You saved money today.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I bought this luggage and this jacket and this shirt, this and that. And all together, I saved $700. You're like, how much did you spend? Oh, well, but it was on sale, though.
Yeah.
It was a real good deal. Those only work on women, right? Like, literally, do you get that?
I could never do that.
Right? No, as men, I just want you guys to know, we're not built the same, like cat and dog. No guy ever walked through the store was like, I'm about to save $50 right now buying that.
And feel good about it.
You just don't think like that. You know that saving is not spending. Right? They turned everything around. By you spending $100, you save 10%. Right? But you don't know that. You save the 20% and you get this. And every time there's an enticement, right? And something looks free in this life. Pay close attention. Let me tell you find what a prostitute is. I live in a land of prostitutes. San Diego, that too. Las Vegas, okay? Listen to this. I'm going to tell you the day it dawned on me how a real prostitute works. I was in Los Angeles, right? And if you're in Los Angeles, certain time of night, you walk around Sunset or whatever, there's all kinds of prostitutes. Nothing you ever want to touch.
Figueroa Street.
Is that what it is? Oh, these guys know.
It's all over TikTok. No, we don't know. I would never know. I would never know if it wasn't for TikTok.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, just let you know.
So I'm about to tell you what happened on TikTok for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? One time on TikTok, and it became real clear to me, this guy was walking from the W Hotel, which is a nice hotel, to his friend's house, which is right down the street in the W building, right? And this guy was me. And it happened to be very late at night. It was like 1:30 or 2. I don't know what the fuck got me out of my room to go over there. One of those, I had to finish a lecture here. All I know is the memory of me walking out of the hotel and walking out. And I saw a beautiful girl, looking really beautiful. And it made sense in the area that I was in. What didn't make sense was about to happen next, right? So I look at her, she's over there, I smile, she smiles, right? And she's moving a little faster, and I notice, and then she crosses paths with me. So being a polite adult human being, I say hi. Says, hi, where you going? I'm like, oh man, I am I'm on fire, right? I breathe and bitches want me right now because that's who I am. And I was like, here's another one, right? God's not even done with me yet. I've been doing it all day. And when there's nothing left, I'm going to go to my own fucking room. God's going to be like, here's some more candy, man. Just fucking Willy Wonka on me. I'm like, this is great. And so I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to my room, wherever the fuck I was going. And I'm like, where are you going? She goes, well, I'm coming with you. And I was like, oh, me, my dumb ass, not knowing anything about it because I'm actually innocent. Okay? I'm innocent in every way. I'm innocent. All right? I'm not guilty of anything. I'm guilty of being innocent, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking, in my experience, this is not that odd. What's a little odd is timing, how she looks, that she's alone. These things go in my mind. But me being who I am, what the fuck are you going to do, bitch? Right? It's kind of like one of my friends in martial arts one time. Okay? They were going somewhere, and his girlfriend says to him, hey, we're going to go through a street, and be careful. You know, people rob people here. And he looked at her and he said, well, have you ever thought that I'm going to rob the person who robs me? He goes, what makes you think they can rob me? Now, he's a little stupid, not really, but like he's got that confidence, right? But he doesn't see himself as a prey. He's a predator. So for me, it was like, well, what are you going to do? Right? Let's play this out. I'm like, well, I'm going to go. Oh, I remember I said, I'm going to go here. And I was like, if you have any friends, call them, because I was going to my friend's house for something. Right? And she's like, well, this and that. And she starts walking with me. Right? I'm like, man, this is just too easy. Something in my alarms are going off, but whatever. So we go a little bit. We get by the fucking little door that we go over there. And she goes, oh, by the way, right? Are you going to be able to take care of me if I come in? And I was like, I'll take great care of you. Still not getting that means money. I know it sounds stupid, but this is some years ago, right? Because I learned. I learned on the street, nigga. So you tell it. I learned not to trust a bitch from the prostitutes. Tupac. And so, for real. And I'm like, yeah, take care of you. She goes, oh, okay, good. She goes, well, you know, I have big bills. And I'm like, wait, money? And I didn't even like think to be cool about it. Like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm like, money? And she looks at me, she goes, well, yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck no. And she looks at me, I said, no, fuck no. I said, do I look like somebody who needs pussy from you? Get the fuck out of here. And she just turned away and walked away. And I remember I was like in shock for a second, right? It was like finding out as a little boy that people lie. Mm-hmm. Like, you lied? Wait, are you telling me that you actually didn't do that? And you said you did that so I can like you? I couldn't get that concept, and I still can't get that concept, right? That's how I feel about Andrew Tate. What a liar. You actually lie? You're actually afraid of women? You actually hate them? You actually the child of a CIA fucking member? Right? Like that, like, should we know that? Would I ever trust the child of someone whose parents were in the CIA? I wouldn't. Just like that prostitute. It's a little too good to be true if that person is saying all these things to free me, but they grew up in a system that person was responsible for all the fucking catastrophe that I've ever fucking experienced. Hey, fuck you. I'm not that stupid, all right? So there you go.
Yeah,
am I saying I should say there's a prostitute? I'm not saying that.
No, we're not saying that.
I'm definitely not saying that.
We're not.
You can make that connection in your mind. It's just not me saying that. If you make that connection, that you're making it, and it might be true. It might be false. But once you make the connection, it's there.
Wow.
Maybe next time people see him, they see her prostitute talk.
They might see that.
Yeah.
That could happen,
Man, I'm
sure.
talking a lot of shit.
That's fine.
Yeah, you know the one
he
talking shit
started
about
it.
somebody else is jealous. You know the one talking shit about somebody else, he's the one losing and all that. That's all true until you get in the ring. And you realize that this is not someone talking. This is the champion talking, saying, put down the belt, motherfucker. Okay? Imposter. Imposer. Anyways, I love that guy. Okay, go on.
He's a great man.
What a great guy.
So I don't know why
Great guy.
this triggered me, but you mentioned CIA,
Yeah.
and of course that's a vast topic.
Which I don't really want to talk about. Just so you
No,
know.
I'm not even talking about them.
They're great people.
Yeah, they're
Keep our
awesome.
country safe.
That's right. They're great.
Quote me.
Well, you know, there's that is an intelligence group, and
Yes,
we
very
do
intelligent.
we fund them.
Yeah,
we fund them. And everything I'm about to say is positive for them, by the way, too.
Absolutely.
So
I'm positive about all.
And it's good.
Yeah.
And
And God said it was
and
good.
they're well, you know, here we are with a good president finally.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
everything, all these variables contribute somehow.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a little easier to sit here and breathe this out.
It really
just so you know,
is. It
right?
really is, yeah.
You know, you can already feel in the air. I tell you, I was at Whole Foods today.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, I'll tell you.
Oh,
I was at Whole
sorry.
Foods today. Yeah. I was at Whole Foods today, and Wholes, my jiu-jitsu instructor calls it Wholes Foods. But I was at Whole Foods today, and I was like, wait, is this just my filter in the world, or does it look more like America today? You know what I mean? Today, when I went to Barnes & Noble, and the guy that showed up, who was 350 pounds overweight, it reminded me of a guy named Zotis that we have here, or had here, right? Just disgustingly big and fat. As that guy came around, and he had a little ponytail, and it was like highlighted, and it was really nicely bunned.
Oh, highlighted.
Yeah, and he had these tattoos, right? He's a little big guy. And then as he opened the door, I said, excuse me, you know where the bathroom is? He said, oh yes, if you go to that, whatever there. And I walked past him, I was like, you know, I'm totally okay with you being like that today. Differently than yesterday. I'm gonna tell you why. Yesterday, you walked around like this was the way I should be. Today, you recognize that you're a little bit off. The world feels a little bit different right now, right? If I had a little boy and I had to explain what you were, I would have a hard time, right? Because I would want my son to grow up as a fucking man to be able to help the society get a beautiful wife and have beautiful children and do that. And that is not what's happening in front of me right now. Whatever the fuck you are, congratulations. Well done. Get the fuck on out of my fucking way. Oh, am I cussing? They're going to get cut off?
That's true.
Get the freak on out of my way. I'm tired of getting banned by these things, right? You get what I'm saying? So, it's nice, at least for 3-4 years, and then we'll shut up when we need to. You know what I mean? Hey, it's fun. Life is fun. Okay? It's fun. When you miss the fun, you missed your life. And that sucks. Okay?
True that.
All right, go on.
So it's interesting because you mentioned the CIA, and they've done a lot of studies, and what I'm about to share is definitely on the the brighter side of them.
Yeah.
And because they had this study on remote viewing.
Yes. Oh God, I love that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're gonna
I know a lot about that actually.
Okay. I'm excited
go.
because on the remote.
Let's define that.
Okay.
Remote viewing is something you all are interested in, right? And different governments, right, in the world have spent a lot of money and time and research doing it. And what it is, they put people in brief. They put people in a room, and they have them close their eyes, and they do a process, right? And then they have them astrally, like project themselves and go and locate enemy missiles and locations of hostages. And they've been very accurate. In fact, before you go further, okay?
No, sure,
You
man.
know the name of that book, Yogi Chris? You know reading it. It's about that guy who does that.
Oh man,
I'll give you a title that will just, that's the answer.
I got it.
You don't got it. What is it?
called Psychic Warrior.
By David Morehouse.
Is that who it is?
David Morehouse.
All right, oh fuck, dude. All right,
You know what I'm talking about?
I took a classroom.
You did?
Fuck
See,
yeah.
that's why this man can make 8 figures per hour.
Okay, this is fucking mind-blowing
Let's go.
shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
and I thought of you.
I'm not done with it. I'm about 70%
Okay,
done.
I thought of you during the class too.
What?
And I'll tell you why, dude. Because you were mentioning Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes.
I was in his class not too long ago. This was like just 3 months ago.
Whoa!
Yeah, bro. It was. I mean, the right moment is here.
That's crazy cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of the stuff that you talk about.
Yeah.
And it moves it out of the category of is it real to it's absolutely fucking real.
Yeah, and
then
it comes from like hypothesis to scientific theory.
Yes.
You get it?
Yep.
It goes from like I wonder to we've done experiments. Here's the results. We don't know everything, but we have some results, and it's a scientific theory, which is all science is theory. That's how you know. If science was facts, it would have stopped 100 years ago or today. And you and I know 1,000 years from now, science will be so advanced. So the scientific truth today is a theory, and that's why they never call it a scientific truth. It's always a scientific theory. You get that? Don't let that invalidate your own theories when you can measure them. They get improved on, but they work. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I was really intrigued because I was in one of your classes and you were talking a lot about Skinwalker Ranch and going into some deep levels of that.
Hell yeah.
What's crazy is I was with David Morehouse. It was a rare opportunity and I took it because that guy's way up there.
He's one of those guys.
He's
OG.
an OG, yeah. And he was in that program hardcore. Yeah, he's amazing. You would love him.
I would love, if you could connect the lines, I would love to take a class from him. Or at least I just want to talk to him or see him.
Yeah. No, I think, definitely.
Hell yeah. Nice.
But yeah, to define that remote viewing, and I share this because this is all released in the public.
Exactly.
American taxpayers funded it, so you have full right and access as an American.
And you should know.
To all of this information. It's yours.
Go check it.
But very, very few resources will
Look it up.
Will point you in that direction. So there is a protocol that they developed for remote viewing.
Yes.
Right?
A protocol is like a way of doing it, okay?
Yeah, an exact way. And they found something. First, they wanted to see if there was a special type of person that could do it better than someone else. So searching for the savant or is there a quality, like athletes, right? There's certain genetics athletes possess.
Savant would be somebody who's got a special talent for that, right? He's a savant at a piano or something. That person is just like genius. It's like a genius at it. Yeah,
exactly. So they were searching to see, hey, are there people in society that would be better at this than others? The first thing they found is it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone can do it. You
can do it and I can do it. Right? Just like Jesus said.
Yep. You can absolutely do it. There's no discriminating factor of anything that inhibits your ability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
dude, you know what I just realized?
Tell me.
You know what I've been teaching for the last 2 days when it comes to relationships? When I say she's feeling that, it could be a way of remote viewing for us.
Bro, so
if you think about it,
I've been tripping on that hardcore, dude.
Dang.
When you mentioned that, I'm like, fuck, he's probably.
You see that? We're doing it.
I really felt that hardcore.
Wow.
Like, why would you feel that way? So the thing about remote viewing is there's an 8th dimension and it's wave form. And this is where it's like what you said is like that could actually be the only.
Okay, I want to say something about that. There was a point in the beginning of the podcast he was talking and I said probabilities, right? When he said the 8th dimension, that is for me the dimension of possibilities and probabilities and nothing else. Does that match what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All potentiality.
All of it. Yes. And that, going back to if there's a creation and a creator, past, present, future is all done, all the thoughts you would have inside of you would also be part of that. So it all exists in waveform data already.
Also known as the Akashic record. Another
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Hey, you see, these are scholars speaking now. Some of these terms, if you've never heard it, you don't have access to it. Him and I just landed in the planet, and the cavemen have never heard these words. Telephone. You and I know what a fucking telephone is, right? Go back 2,000 years ago, same DNA, people talking, still wanting to survive, still in relationships, still marriage, still dealing with monetary and governments 2,000 years ago. But if you go back and go, okay, him and I are talking, I go, listen, bro, when we get back into our time, just call me, use your telephone. Imagine those words to them.
What?
You get that? And because they don't know it, they won't even be able to see it if they saw it. What's that? Have you seen the movie called The Gods Must Be Crazy?
With the bottle coming out of the...
They don't know what a Coke bottle is.
Bro.
That would be a telephone or a word like Akashic record. You get it? Oh, that sounds like a record of kebab or something. You know what I mean? Anyways, go on. That's so cool.
Well, it's funny. You said the word CIA, and it just linked a whole thread of teachings that I've.
Thank you, CIA.
Yeah, for real. But you have if they paid for it, you paid for it, I paid for it, our parents paid for it, and there's some knowledge that can come out of what has already been released. It's like we should all know about it.
But check this out. They're people just like you and I.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I didn't know, I wanted to be part of them. I wanted to be CIA. I wanted to be FBI, right? Because that's the training I wanted. I'm that guy, right? And it's like, people are people, and then they get caught. Just like with the P. Diddy case, right? It's like, how many of those people got caught, right? Do I really think DJ Khaled is evil? Nah, I really don't, right? Do I really think, no, very few of those people. But how many people got caught into the money, got framed into it, compromised one little goddamn thing? Enough for me in today's class to ask one of my students, why did you say that if you didn't want to say that? To the woman in conversation. That, my brother, is going to lead one day to you being framed by P. Diddy. It takes one tiny little moment of inside going against what you know is right. That's it. Right? You can't say, I'm not a liar, but I lie sometimes. Right? You're a liar. Right? Now, if you put the context within, I lie to my enemy every fucking day, because why would I ever tell my enemy the truth of my position? Right? There's 7 of us coming in. We're SWAT team. We're going to be there at 8 p.m. Make sure you got your guns ready to go. We're going to come take it. What the fuck? Right? What are you talking about? So one of the main teachings of IMC Nation is you have to have your groups, your tribe. You have to know who your people are and who non-your people are. Right? Words have distance and barriers around them. You can't walk up to another man's girlfriend or wife and be like, what's up, baby sugar? How you doing? And him not take offense. Those words are barred from someone who says, I belong to someone. You can't say certain things. You can't walk up to him and be like, damn, your ass looks good, though. No, I know you got a man. I respect him. Hey, I respect you. Look at that ass, though. Just words, right? But foul. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's so important because the words are used in the remote viewing extensively to describe eighth dimensional waveform perception. So we have the ability, and I learned this so much, it relates so much to what you teach them all
We're
day
doing the
long.
same
That's
thing,
why I was
man.
like,
I know
dude,
it.
he's doing it. Because there's a theorizing about it, and there's a direct practicing. Once you have the ability.
Yeah, now go and do this. Remote view this, right?
Yeah, and then, then live your life according to these other abilities. That's kind of what I see you bring into IMC.
We call it Jedi. We call it Jedi shit.
Yes, dude.
Accountability, because once you tap into like remote viewing abilities and psychic abilities and this like that and this and that, then it's like you take your daydreaming much more seriously. You take like thoughts that you entertain much more seriously because you're affecting the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to live in ignorance to be okay with yourselves, because people are like got mess in there. There's just a mess.
That's a really good point, because let's just say a power most people want, not everybody. What if you could, while you talk to another person, feel what they feel in that moment? You would be very influential. You would know how to sell. You would know how to talk. You would know how to solve issues. You could feel exactly what they feel, so you could just talk from there, right? And man, now, if you could do that, you now have a certain responsibility when you walk around, because I know that person felt that thing, and I know what that feeling is like, and I can't deny it. Now, the next time I move, I'm not ignorant anymore. I can now sin. You get it? Now I know as a dog not to bite the family member. I became conscious, but I bit anyways. Now, if I sit down that fucking dog and he tells me, okay, AZD, check this out. I'll be honest with you. I know it was wrong, but I did it. All right. This is now treason against the family as a dog. The only time it's going to be all right is that animal had no choice and it was pressed by the adult or the child, It was the ignorance of the human being and the ignorance of the owner to not put the barrier properly, right? Other than that, that's what happens with us. With great knowledge comes great responsibility, and that's a fact. Great power. Knowledge is power when done right. Okay. Anyways, back to you.
I think what you really said in the class the other day about you're being able to perceive how the woman is perceiving you. When I relate it to the remote viewing, and I'll share, I learned, I'm absolutely novice at it, but I can share the very first part of the protocol.
Yeah, please.
The very first part of the military protocol.
Wow, this is exactly what was taught.
This is
the highest level military members.
The highest level, hundreds of millions of dollars
Can you believe
invested.
that?
Top military people. This is what they did.
Well, all year, bro.
Okay.
Dumbo.
So this is the first. So the remote viewing says this. First, it goes on the principle, all is mind.
There you go. It's all in mind. That's our first principle.
Our minds is obviously shared, which validates further what you were saying about the perceptions of the female mind and your ability to pick it up through your emotions.
Like that. Now, once you get that female, it's also the males, because in order to operate socially the way we operate tonight, in these chaotic environments of just filth, then I also have to know what that bouncer feels, what that owner feels, and everyone. It's not just the female, because to be good at it in the jungle, you have to know what that snake, the pattern looks like a coral snake. It's a king snake. What's a king snake? What's a coral snake? Which one? Black and yellow, kill a fellow. Black and red, dead, or whatever. It's okay, fellow. It's one that I said it backwards. Don't go by that, okay? Don't go by that. But I have to now differentiate between the camouflages. Not every snake I have to run from. Not every spider I have to run from. And not every sound in the jungle should make me jump. But if I'm not familiar with the language of all the animals, then whichever one I read wrong, I'm in trouble. One could be food and I don't know it, right? It sounds scary because in the middle of the night it's going, and you're like, oh my God, it's a demon. No, it's a baby fucking animal crying somewhere for his mom. Okay? Pay attention. That could be a bear and you could be near its territory. Get the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? And you see so much of it, for us to relate properly, we have to be able to understand the language that's being spoken, the sounds and symbols and what they mean. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, man, you're setting me off so hard, because the geniusness of doing it in the strip club is just, it's ridiculously the best part. You so never think it's a university.
No.
You would never think it is an absolute university, but it is.
It's a master university.
It's fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
So the first part of the protocol is, so there's a target assigned, okay? Fuck, dude. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, what's your target? Yeah,
so if they want to, and there's a person that assigns the target, right? So the person that assigns the target, they put a number on it. So for example, if they want to know about, let's just say it's a Hawaiian island volcano.
Yes,
okay. Now I told you information about the target, which you'd never do in the protocol.
Yes.
So, but let's say, man, there's something going on with
so,
this.
for example, I know that would be misunderstood somewhere.
Okay.
We're gonna say that the number, this target is a volcano in Hawaii. But ready, you as remote viewers don't know that.
Nothing
what he just said.
all. Nothing. You
I would know it as the one who's going to give you the target.
Correct.
Nobody else knows it. And we're going to assign that a number instead of calling it a volcano.
Correct.
So let's give that a number. What is it?
So it'd be 8 digits. This is the protocol.
Okay.
So they give it, the assigner gives it 8 digits and says nothing about what it is actually.
Okay, your target is, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8, right. Now
that's your target. That's all you know.
Yep. Now here's what's crazy. This is the first part of the military protocol, is the remote viewers have to write down the numbers that it's given. And on the last number, they leave their pen on the paper and just let it flow. And that's called an ideogram.
Whoa,
because
there's something to me here.
I know there's an instantaneous subcutaneous connection.
What's a subcutaneous?
Under your skin.
Okay.
So there's the mind and its connection to this all-encompassing reality. there's an idiot. It'll instantly. You just let it go. You just let it go because you're letting yourself go.
I get it.
And then there's more. I could cover.
And so it could be suddenly becomes a writing or a scribble or anything.
Right. So like if they remote viewed Skinwalker Ranch with David Morehouse, dude. So when I was sitting in this fucking class, I was fucking AZD. I was thinking about. I was like, I can't believe this. So if it was a horrific place, then you might have this really fucked up ideogram.
Wow.
Because of the subcutaneous response. But I say that because it relates so much to what you're teaching over here as Jedis, it's using it at a whole nother level, because we're not going to sit in like remote viewing protocols all day, but we're going to be in social situations.
Jesus.
And I know it's fucking crazy.
No, that did so much for me. My mind is still being blown.
Fucking A, dude. Mine is too, because the relations are nuts.
Wow. I don't know what that does for you, but you got to watch two people that have a passion for a subject in good dialogue. By the way, that's what conversation is like. If it's not that, I don't think it's worth it. You understand that? But this is worth it. Even people listening who don't know shit can benefit from it. Right? That's how it's done. Now, can you do that with the opposite sex? You can. You don't have to. You don't have to. This is more of a guy conversation.
Yeah, I've never had this much of an intriguing conversation with a female at all.
Can't, because that's not set up like that. Just like she could tell me about Coco Chanel and how she got famous, and I'd be famous. I'd be interested in the way she went about that. I'd be looking at the business or whatever the fuck I look at, but she's talking about something else. And when she gets with her girlfriends, they could talk forever about that in a way that I could never talk about it. That's a female topic. That's a male topic. The same laws that say it's all in a state of mind, which let's get the words from Thoth or Hermes, which is it's a mental universe, right? The first one. And we know that the remote viewing program says that's the first law.
Based on it.
Based on it. In those laws, it says everything in the universe is gender-based. Everything is male and female. So if we're going to just kind of say, let's just say that's also true with the person who came up with that, he's saying what I'm telling you. This is a male conversation. All right? There's a female conversation. There's a male conversation. And the difficult part of navigating relationships is, where can you and I meet so that we're both getting something from the conversation? Because relationships are made in conversation. So then I wonder how I have two girlfriends who don't really speak English. Because, ready? The advanced Jedi class I'm teaching that started today teaches you that there's a conversation taking place subterranean, what you call it?
Subcutaneously.
Subcutaneously. Under the skin. There you go. Subcutaneously. Subcutaneously, right? And that's what I'm saying. And sub means under. And I keep saying there's a language. And I've decoded it because I taught it this morning and there's no denying it. My own life is an example of it. You understand? Now, if that's true, that's true. This is true. This is true. If we're doing some mathematics here. Ready? It's the same subcutanean.
Yeah, subcutaneous.
Subcutaneous. The same subcutaneous message, ready? When I listen to Andrew Tate, I call bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no other way of saying it, but it's if bam, bam, then bam. Then here is a man speaking as a woman. Here's a man communicating as a feminist. Here's a man who hates men and women, right? And not because he's a bad person, he's probably a good person, right? However, do not, no matter what, put an insecure person in charge of that ship going through that storm. Okay? That captain won't be able to steer that ship. So as long as it's fucking sunny, that guy can sit there with the fucking, hey, we got this. The moment some waves come, he runs in the fucking thing and hides and says, anchor down. No, motherfucker, get us through the storm. Okay? The ship is built to get through it. Right? Do the work. Move. If it's a ship, get through it. Okay? There's going to be very few times where you can't get through that fucking thing. Go. You're going to have to be a captain now. Water is going to come in to an untrained eye. It looks like all these ships are sinking. Have you seen these Instagram videos where the ocean comes into the ship? Right? The crab ones. They go, oh my God, it's going to sink. And then it just goes right back up. Right? And then you see this wave. And right? Can you imagine being on that? The video was scary to us. Same thing with a guy base jumping or parachute. Things that would freak us out shouldn't freak out a professional. because he knows what the ideal scene looks like. He's been through it many times. We don't know, right? In the martial arts, that guy may have tattoos. I have tattoos, right? That guy may have a physical. He's got all of that, but you're supposed to be able to maneuver through all of that, and that shouldn't stop you. You're not measuring that. You're measuring other things. You're measuring his self-control before the fight. You're measuring how his body relaxation and movement is as he's preparing. Is he really nervous? Right? Is he worried about other people? He's a champion. And then there's that cold-hearted motherfucker that walks in and he's just ready to go in. And he's got one thing in mind. Let's get this going. This is the time where I'm going to speak now in the match. Let me show you. We'll talk after. That's the mentality, right? Beautiful. Go ahead.
Man, I'm just putting so much together. That course in the morning was really enlightening, man.
Yeah.
I'd never heard anything like that before.
Yeah.
About I can't reveal it all. I won't reveal it all.
It's a language. The language that I've coded. Let's see what happens.
The practical, I feel I can use it right away is what I'm getting at.
That's the point.
That's the point. That's what made it a worthwhile endeavor.
Yeah.
And I'm sharing some remote viewing things. It's like crazy, but here is practical application that works.
Yeah, what if it was true? Okay, I'm talking to the men. What if it was true that you could remote view? What if it was true that you could view life through a different level of awareness? For example, you could look at life from a perspective of a successful businessman, and you had access to that information as much as you have access to a broke motherfucker. And the fact that your channel, you're tuned in to a broke motherfucker because the programming of your brain is designed so that every time you look at money or a job or a nice car or a bad car or a broke person or a homeless, it doesn't matter what you look at, right? What if it was true that you could have a different perspective, and by having a different perspective, you would apply yourself differently and you would have a different experience? This is a fact, right? What if the stuff they show in Star Wars, as in the Jedi powers, what if there was like a 10% chance it was true, right? If there was a 10% chance that immortality was real, it's worth going for it, right? Why? Because there's a 10% chance. If you go to the hospital and they say there's 1% chance you'll survive, you better hold on to that 1% chance. You know, I interviewed somebody, it's somewhere on YouTube, okay? And this man, he had died. he died. His children were my martial arts students, okay? And he had died, and the priest was there. And everybody was crying, and then he was pronounced dead. Stage 4 cancer, that's what killed him. Okay? Stage 4 cancer killed him. The priest is there, reading his rights, or whatever the fuck the priest does. And everybody's crying.
He wakes up.
Oh! He sits up.
I remote viewed that right there.
He sits up, and I interviewed him 11 years after that had happened. Nice. And he was told he was going to die 1 month when that had happened, right? And he's still alive. I saw it on Facebook the other day, right? And then he told me the story of whatever happened inside his head or whatever he experienced. But the point is, he was there. He said the priest threw the book and jumped backwards, right? And his daughters, I knew his daughters. I trained them. They were verifying. I knew his wife, right? Dude, what if that was available to the last person who you lost to some fucking bullshit disease, right? Well, just what if? And the question, what if, is what opens all the doors in the mind. You get that? What if she's cheating on you? There you go. You want to open that door for a while? Right? What if she's using you? All right, what if she's using you and cheating on you? What if she doesn't love you? Right? Yeah, nice one. It's kryptonite of Superman, right? Or it's the cape of Superman. You decide, right? What if? And your mind is caught in all kinds of what if. I'm going to start a business. What if I don't make it? I want to start a relationship. What if she doesn't like me? What if I this? What if I this? What if I that? Right? That's all it is. It's a mental universe. Okay, let's keep going.
All right. Well, I'll leave something. You know, obviously it's your choice, AD. We're in the We're in the bonus section here now.
We're in the bonus because we're past an hour.
Yeah.
But I have a martial arts class, and then I'll go in about 15 minutes. I won't be late.
No worries. Well,
yeah.
I'll offer this then in the bonus section only. The CIA, when they're in the remote viewing.
Yeah.
And this relates completely to one of the things that is very exclusive here at IMC Nation, which you've taught people. Which when I learned this, it gave so much more meaning to the process.
Amazing.
Because the CIA, when they're remote viewing, they detected entities called tricksters.
Wow.
And they're feeding your mind an instrument. They're tricking you.
Wow.
So why?
I needed this validation. Let's keep going.
So it's like, oh, why would you have a process?
Yeah, look at that.
So, pretty mind-blowing stuff.
Hey, I'm ready. I've been ready. That's how I know, right? That the gods hear my voice. That the gods hear my voice. Come on now. We have been given an instrument that can tap into infinity. We need to practice tapping into infinity, right? We've been given an instrument to be able to visualize, create, and speak, right? We've been given an instrument that could measure the universe and cut it in pieces. Other animals can't do that. We can do whatever we want, right? Literally. There's consequences for it, but that's a privilege. Hold on a second. Let me tell you, I'm a preacher of many different religions. Right now I'm a preacher of IMC, and that's all I am. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? Here's my understanding. This is the reason why the angels were jealous of humans. I'm going to tell you why. Because the angels were ordered. This is what you do. Right? And no matter how much power they had, mankind was given a chance to decide. And they weren't given a chance to decide. Because when one of them decided no, he was cast down to hell. And said, oh, you're going to have to do this, actually. If you're an angel, you're going to have to do this. But mankind was told, do what you want. Now, if you have older brothers, and parents were strict with them, and they grew up and became so successful, so beautiful, they had everything, and suddenly a new, younger one comes that's so weak compared to you. And then dad says, this one can do whatever it wants, and when it calls on you, you be there and you save this one. You'd be like, you gotta be kidding me. What's that all about? Why? Okay? And some would say, okay. But dad said that's what it is. And if you say no, you don't have a choice. But man was told, it's your choice. Don't eat it. If you do, there's consequences. Man ate it. Okay, go down there. There's a choice here. And it's like the angels had a choice too, but there's a difference in it. There's a difference in it. We were given nothing besides a choice and everything to help us. No more power besides stay righteous and don't take thought for tomorrow. And watch what happens. Just stay on it. Your power was faith. Your power was triggered with faith, righteousness. Now, is that important in remote viewing? I'll teach a class from IMC Nation on remote viewing, okay? This works. Now, some of you know deep inside you this is true. You're going to do better in this. Others who don't believe it, you're still going to get some results. I guarantee you, the top of the class will be the people who know this works. They're going to approach it differently. You guys are going to do it to prove it to yourself. You guys are going to do it to use it. Right? And that's faith in that area. You have to have faith. Righteousness, which means what? I'm going to give you a process. I'm going to go 1 through 8. At the end of 8, let it write. No matter what comes up. Don't judge it. Just go. Whatever the fuck the words are, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Ready? The one with faith follows a straight and narrow path. I believe in the teacher, the Buddha, the Sangha, and the Dharma, right? And when he gets there, and his mind begins to, and he does it. Fuck it. Let me just do the process. The other one, when he gets there, maybe as he goes, no, it can't be that. That would be too weird to say there's a dragon in the middle of the earth. So I'm not going to say that. Right? He veers off the path, and he can't worship two gods at that moment. He can no longer remote view properly. He'll get there, but he won't really get there. And at the end, he'll say remote viewing doesn't work. This shit is bullshit. And he goes into his hell. Go ahead and have it. So the application of faith, straight and narrow path, Love your brother as yourself will allow you to remote view. You should know that. Love God above all, I'm using Christianity now. Love God above all else will allow you to remote view, which is all possibilities, all potentialities. That's God. Above all else, know that that's senior to everything. Second to that, know that the guy next to you or whatever, you have to treat him just like yourself. Meaning what? He could also do that to you. Remember that. What you do to others will be done to you. How's that? Thus, do unto others as you would have it done to you. That doesn't mean so that they do it to you. Listen again from this perspective. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You could read that one way or hear that one way. Let's hear it a different way. It's physics. Do unto them as you would have it done to you, because that's literally what's going to happen to you. Good luck, right? There's not one person who wronged you who didn't suffer for it, if they really wronged you. So you could just relax. And there's not one motion you took, one eventually, like he said, one thought you had that didn't register somewhere and reverberate right back into you. Because outside of you and your own awareness, you're not experiencing anything else. You're like in a fish bubble around your head. Okay? So that bowl. That fish bowl for some people is this much, and now we're going to remote view, and I say, okay, now I'm going to look at Hawaii. And Hawaii comes into my fish bowl now. Right? And I got to look at it. Now, in this fish bowl, like you said, there's entities that are going to feed ideas to distract me, to pull me. Why? Because they live in that world. That's the world they operate on to control you. That's one dimension higher, 2, 3, 7, I don't know. It's definitely not where we are. It's right above it. Okay? Or right under it. It's wherever it is that we can't see it, but they can see us. They pick you up going there, so they'll feed you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, good. Then practice to gain certainty. Go out there and apply to see if you could turn lead into gold the way alchemists said. Try it. Do it using your own life, your own materials. If all I have is a match, I'm going to apply to see if I can turn that into gold. Right? You don't need to go buy something to just whatever you got, apply the idea to it. Welcome to IMC Nation. Then once you do, let's get together and mastermind. Let's find out who's got that formula, sutra, the formula, right, that has an effect in this universe, because everywhere I look and you look, we see something called cause and effect. There you go. Cause and effect. Okay? So why is that not visible in my own personal internal space? It's visible everywhere else. Cause effect, right? Everything, cause effect. But what about inside? What happens there? You're not supposed to even look there. That's just you, right? What's me? My anger, my sadness, my goals? What about my fears? Am I all of it? If I'm all of it, how could I exist? How could I exist in such a contradiction if I'm all of this shit? You mean I'm angry and happy, I'm sad but happy, I'm also this and that. Am I any of these emotions? I'm going to go insane like every human being does. What if I'm not any of it? Now what do you do? Well, then what are you? That's a good question that's been asked for a long time. Get to know thyself, whichever path you take. Wherever it goes, make sure at the end of it, you find yourself with God. Right, correct path. But you better have you in mind and God in mind. Because if I have him in mind while I go over there, him in mind while I go over there, where the fuck am I going? How could I walk his path? Impossible to affect him that way. There's no matter what I do. Okay? All right. Anything else? Where are we at? We're at 6:14. Let's go to 6:20, 6:25.
6:25.
All right, I'm done my shit.
We're in the bonus section.
Yeah.
And we're going deeper into the bonuses.
Let's go. Come bonus.
So this is pretty wild how we're touching in on all these terms. And words are so powerful. And I always love to hear what you say with words and definitions. And when this process of remote viewing, which is so linked to what you're teaching with the process, it's taking your ability to your ability, meaning you have it.
Yeah, exactly.
You have it's taking your ability to interpret 8th dimensional waveform data into your fourth dimension, which is your imagination.
Wow. Did they say that in there? That
Yes.
fourth dimension is imagination?
Yes, the 4D is your imagination.
They actually put that in the course.
Yes.
Damn, that's good for me to know that.
Dude, right? Fucking military protocol, dude. Which is so crazy, right?
Let me. Can I say something here real quick?
Bro,
Look, dimension number 1, a point. Right? Boom. Dimension number 2, 2 points. Dimension number 3, height. I'm looking at it. I have control over dimension number 2. Right? So if I draw,
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
actually a point is 0 dimensions.
0 dimensions a point. Dimension 1 would be
2 points is a
2
line.
points. Dimension 3 is,
A third point is a plane.
okay, that would be a second dimension.
That's 2 dimensions is a plane.
A plane which is on flat paper now. We have,
You need 3 points to make a plane.
great. And a third dimension now is
Fourth point off the plane.
off the plane. That's what I want to say. Thanks. We have a scientist here. So pay attention. You have a flat paper. This is what I'm trying to say, okay? You have and see, he has the words for it. That's what words will do. It'll make it more clear. We have a flat dimension, and I draw a person on it. There he goes. I draw another person here. They're going to interact. I'm going to give them a road to go over there. We now have a 2 dimension, right? We have a 2-dimensional world. And this, if consciousness is given to the stick figure, all you can see is the other stick figure from that 2 dimension and whatever that looks like, the road, right? What he can't do is do this at me, correct? I would be the 3rd dimension. I exist, and maybe he gets so conscious at some point that when I see him pray or act properly and not bitch about the path that he can't even choose because I drew it, he's going there anyways, right? Then I go, damn, I want to save this stick figure. But I'm in 3rd dimension. He might become aware of a pen somewhere. He might establish a relationship, but that 2nd dimension would, in his private time, have to go, hey, is someone out there? Did that motherfucker just talk? I gave him a piece of me to dial up. He's conscious. I'm in the 3rd dimension. Ready? He said that they say the 4th dimension is imagination. Look at all my writings, all my talks. The key is imagination and communication. Got it? Now, if I'm in the 3rd dimension, then if I start to imagine, you see how my relationship was 3rd to 2nd? Control over it, able to look further down the plane, the 2 dimensions, and see what's coming where he can't see it. Where they bump into each other, I can see there's no reason to bump into each other, but they have no choice, right? When imagination comes in, everybody else, when you live with imagination, looks like they're doing this and they can't see. They can't extend into the future, into the past, in 360, extend themselves into a water molecule, extend themselves into the sky like Einstein did, whatever, extend themselves into electricity. That person looks at the 3-dimensional world, the one who has the imagination living, with so much more depth or width and all of that, really, because it's dimension, it's a new dimension. And now he's saying 8th dimension. If they're saying in their research 8th dimension, that means 5, 6, 7 is there.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
It's fucking nuts.
And to go from the 4th dimension to the 3rd, in that case, I'm going to have to decode symbols, which is what? And that's language. So the key is imagination and communication. Communication is language, right? Decoding the symbols and having an understanding behind it. He's saying everything I've been saying, but now we're using military science terms. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm sharing this. It just validates what you're teaching and doing at a whole different level from my perception.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So now, just like I said in class, some of you guys, everyone's going to be a remote view. Some of you have faith and are going to follow it exactly. You're going to do better, but everyone's going to get results. He just said whatever you're teaching is more real. Right? He's not going to apply it with different faith.
That's right.
You get it? He's about to get better at it. It's more real to him now. When the next guy's like, well, I know he's got something, blah, blah. He's like, no, I've done other chords, this and that. He's speaking the same shit. They're saying the same shit. These guys are the top of the world. He's on the top of the world. They're saying the same shit. I've been looking also for ideas or common. Look, it's an idea. It's a common denominator. It sounds like a demon. You just take a few words and flip them around, and you understand what the word is, right? Denominator. It's not a denominator, but it's the same thing, man. You're looking for a common idea, a common factor, something, a factor, a fact. You're looking for a common fact, okay? It's in the words. Literally, it's in there because the words are trying to communicate an idea. So they have to make sense to the idea, right? That's why it doesn't make sense to say a man can get pregnant. No, he can't. No, he can't. End of story. Did you know that they say men can get pregnant on their, come on, man.
It's impossible.
Do you know they said on United Nations when they asked the secretary of the fucking, do you know that or not?
Actually, yeah, I've seen that.
They asked her.
Yeah.
This is the person who's supposed to be, they fired all those fucking
those
people.
are gone.
Right? The person in charge of the United States at the time could not sit there in front of a panel and they said that men can have children. And they were told, no, they can't. They were told by the senator, no, they can't. You have all those degrees and you legitimately think they can? Get this, they can't. And the person was squirming like, well, sir, you know, it is my opinion. Nobody gives a fuck, you weirdo. You can't, these words, they can't be combined. You can't say that child is an adult. That's like saying that. That child is, are children adults? Right? If children are not adults, then adults should have sexual relationships with adults, not children. How's that? No matter if they call it this or that. How's that? Because a child is a child and an adult is an adult. And adults don't have sexual relations with children ever, at any point, ever, at any time as a civilized human being. How's that? You get that? Separate the fucking terms. Are you a martial artist or are you not? You kind of are? No. Are you a police officer? Yes or no? Here to serve. Act like it. Don't take the job. Don't take the job. What if your uniform is off? It doesn't come off. It doesn't come off. Not if you can carry a gun and I can't. Right? Not if in the middle of a fight you could step up and arrest people and say, if you're going to have that much power, I want a 24-hour fucking employee. Right? Because you could end the fucking life and I have to be like, okay, sir, I can't even get in a fight with you in a fucking bar without major consequences. You understand? With great power comes great responsibility. So what power do you want? Good. You better be responsible with it. Well, it was God's code. You understand? It was God's code. That's the end of it. Okay, go ahead. Wrapping it up.
Yeah.
How do we wrap this up?
Well, I think I'll give it my best shot.
Give me your best shot.
Because we're talking about words and it's so real. And expanding the vocabulary is so, it could be so massive.
It's as big as what we could imagine, really,
big.
and understand.
It's big. So there's a great word they use. It's called the gestalt.
I know what a gestalt is without listening to it.
I know.
Can I tell you?
I know.
Can I guess?
Yeah, I bet you have a better.
Well, no. I can just tell you what I know about the word gestalt. It's called gestalt. A gestalt would be the whole.
Yes.
Right? But all its components being part of the whole. Is that right? Is that how they use it?
Full gestalt. Yeah.
So it's a psychology term.
Yep. So when the target's assigned, it comes with a whole gestalt.
Mm-hmm.
But your mind is so powerful that you have to narrow your aperture.
Aperture, I don't know that word.
Aperture,
it's like an instrument.
Yeah, like on a camera, you can change like apertures. If you're going to see, like if you could envision someone could bring a darkness in a circle, so where you're just like seeing just whoa.
Yeah, and Instagram is called vignette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what did you say? It's a what?
Like a portal or a hole of perception.
Okay.
So you innately have the ability to adjust your aperture to perceive bigger gestalts.
Wow.
And what kind of beast can we become in IMC Nation?
So could it be, do they do this? Do they open the aperture and go boom and gestalt and then they go zoom?
Well, so the target would be the full gestalt. So there's a full gestalt, right?
Okay.
So they remote viewed on the National Geographic Channel, Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, so, you just do some research on YouTube. They've been doing it and it works.
This is, you know, if you want to look for it, it's there. There's nothing hidden.
By the way, whenever a big organization that runs the fucking people tells you that didn't work and we stopped funding it,
it worked really well.
It probably worked. You understand that? Like on a real note, why? Oh, come on now.
Dude, and this guy Dave Morehouse was doing this back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, like he's one of the originals, right?
Yeah,
literally.
So like, imagine what, and the stuff they have. So what it could be now is
now what I do know is they have technology, which is like this kind of technology that will amplify that inner technology. Because that's literally what will happen in every other technology. Technology eventually attaches itself to us and amplifies us.
Borg, nano, and amplifying your abilities.
Yeah, right? Like our eyes could see 20/20, now they see 22 million or whatever the fuck it is, right? By putting lenses in front of it and adjusting those lenses. And it's the same thing. The inner eye is going to be able to amplify by what? Because when you look somewhere, your brainwaves change. I bet you if they measure the brainwaves, you're going from beta, theta, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
And as it moves, now once the brain is there, I bet you they can amplify with the frequency now. They could put some kind of thing because sound is a frequency, smell is a frequency, light is a frequency. So what if there's ways to amplify everything where now if I'm on channel, if I'm on the right frequency, boom, boom, I can see much more clear, right? What if because you can do that with hypnosis. You take the person deeper and deeper and deeper. Eventually, they're not even here. They're totally in that situation with just words. Just words. Not using fucking a room like this designed for me to remote view. Not a little, where they started, tin can box, sit behind it, blindfold. Right? That's how they started the program. Right? They ended it for us there. They kept going. In fact, I want to tell you something else that I know. You guys can look it up, okay? One of the ways they bring down the UFOs right now, right, is in some branch somewhere in whatever, which I think is really dope, wherever it is, by the way, is they have people who sit there and use psychics, psyops, to take over the controls of the UFO. And they could do that. And they landed because these UFOs are being run by consciousness. So they've been able to do it where they can catch the UFO's frequency, and there's people that are trained that hack the controls. And that battle up there, it's a battle for your mind. It's a battle for your mind. They're doing a mental warfare, which makes sense. How do you bring down a ship with that much ability of technology? What do you shoot it with? Right? A Scud missile or whatever the fuck it is, like, you know what I mean? That thing's like dimension jump, dimension jump, dimension jump. What if you catch it in the dimensions and attach yourself to it? Because this technology of their UFOs, some of them, they're now linked to consciousness, right? As they sit there and fly the ship with thought and movement. It's not that difficult. Play some virtual reality. Put the gloves on, put the mask on, and go in there and do this, and that shit will move this way and that way. Okay? So what if it's a gray alien, right? Okay, do you think it's possible that our drones, 1,000 years in the future, would have a pilot in it, right? That once the drone landed, 1,000 years from now, this little robot came out and walked, right? It didn't have genitals. It didn't have a reproductive system, but it could walk and see and move. And if it blew up, you don't give a fuck. And it all looked the same. They were called the Greys, let's say, right? What if we had enough technology? Is it possible that 1,000 years from now, the drone can be flown by me, virtual reality, sitting there and looking through the eyes of the little pilot and the machine, land it, have it walk through fire, whatever, and it blows up? Don't give a fuck. Press button here. Here comes another fucking 3D printer. You know what a 3D printer is? They print stuff. You don't think 1,000 years from now they have 3D printing bodies, drones? Come on, man. There is using the fourth dimension imagination to look at a third dimension that people can't see if they can't imagine what I just said. To me and you, we can go 1,000 years in the future right now in our mind and make a bet that if we were alive 1,000 years from now, we'd be winning that bet with people. I told you that we're going to do this. It's probably going to happen in 10 years. But I'm just saying, without a doubt, in time, in due time, which is 1,000 years, this is going to happen. It's no problem. To us, it's fucking advanced. Just go back only 2,000 years, not 100,000 years, not 2,000 years, and use your phone. Him and I. Let's all of us go with enough ammunition and guns and phones. Let's just go back there. How long before we take over the entire civilization of arrows and guns and boats? Let's go meet Genghis Khan real fast. Right? Let's put on some bulletproof armor. Let's just land through a fucking Stargate in a Hummer that has a machine gun on top. And let's just go right through the entire Mongolian army, 7 of us. Even with their horses and their clinky ding, ding. right? This thing, how long before we broadcast through a sound system they can't, well, these are gods talking. Genghis Khan, come out, bitch.
Oh.
Right? And here we are, just a bunch of fucking nerds even. Doesn't matter, like some guy that goes shoots up a fucking school or something, right? Goes back in time, and now he's a Genghis Khan ruler, right? Because technology was so powerful. And when you look at Thor, he's just a bitch like that. Right? You know he is because Thor is a lot of insecurities. It would suck to date Thor. You know why? As a woman, you could control him like this with his emotions. You could have him get in a fight. You could have him lift the house for you. You could have him take you to Asgard or wherever the fuck, just by attacking his ego. Oh, here's the Asgard. What a bitch. Powerful bitch. Okay? That technology should be given to somebody who's not so easily manipulated, who doesn't get in a fight right away, right? Who doesn't go, you're not the strongest, I am, right? Get the fuck out of here. Okay. What an incredible podcast. Thank you.
That was awesome, man. Thanks, AZ.
How do people contact us after this?
Zay, we got a link put up there for the Game Pass.
Hope to see you guys in that next thing.
We got a lot of hot stuff. IMCProductionsinc.com. Can register there. Stay in touch with everything. These guys are getting really good about sending out communications, improving every day, in fact. So you'll get texts, you'll get emails about all the fun stuff that's going on.
The staff here are being mentored by a man who makes 8 figures for others. And 3 months ago, while he was in my class, did a remote viewing class with that guy. You can't go wrong having a guy like that on the team. You got to let him lead. You got to say, go, go, go. We're following you. This is your thing. Okay? Then that's what he's doing. I want you guys to see that. Because when you see, I'm very successful in business, what I do. I'm going to be 1 billion times more successful, like a billionaire, because of him. Because I also know how to follow when it's the right time.
It's a coming together, dude. It's a coming together.
It's a symphony, right?
Yep. It's 2 symbols. They're by themselves. We put them together.
Yeah, 2 symbols.
They're bringing a whole new reality.
So we're looking for a few good men out there, right?
Yeah.
Who want to become billionaires changing the world.
Yeah.
A billionaire.
The team's strong, though, AZD, and they're clicking nicely.
Exactly.
Oh,
right.
yeah, a lot.
It takes good leadership for an army to win. The greatest army, the greatest team needs a coach. That's why we wonder why the coaches get paid so much and the players respect them so much. Put a bunch of talented players together like the all-star team and watch how the egos fight each other. But have a coach that knows that's Jordan, that's Pippen, that's Rodman. These are all basketball players. And he knows how to treat each one where each one does their best and they don't get in a fight with each other. They have to operate as a team together. That it takes a leader. We all need leaders. Our fathers were our first leaders. God first, Father second, and then we move forward. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, everybody.
Amazing podcast, man. Thank you.
Nation, be the best and fuck the rest. Thank you, bro. See ya.
Yep.